think picking our first 11 is difficult. It's a tough job.
You know, there's going to be some games because Frank likes to deploy different tactical setups to depend on who he's playing against and devise different plans against who he's playing against. It's going to very much depend on what our best 11 is on who we play. So there's going to be some games where João Palhinha is going to have to play and he's going to be the best player for that setup. But there's going to be some games as well where João Palhinha probably shouldn't play. So it's going to be very interesting.
Well, I think maybe if we assume every game we play is going to be a cup final against Arsenal, what 11 do you play? It's difficult, I think, in a moment to say what our best 11 is if we're playing a 4-3-3. Obviously, I understand what you're saying. Different games call for different players, and he's going to be quite adaptable to that situation. But every team has a best 11 by hook or by crook. Not to say that is the only 11 that plays and that's it, but every team you probably say has a best 11. And it's interesting to see.
I mean, yeah.
Interesting to say what would ours be.
Yeah.
Don't know. Well, this was like, so first of all, we've got two new players, Moani and Simmons. So this is likely to be kind of the setup you'll see. Maybe when we come back against West Ham, potentially.
Yeah, so that's Vicario in goal, Porro right back, Romero van der Ven in the centre-back, Udogie left-back, Palhinha, Bentancur and Simmons as the midfield three, but obviously Simmons in the 10, Moani up top, Kudus on the right, and Johnson on the left. Do you think Udogie comes straight back in after the international break? Because Spence...
Maybe not, yeah. Maybe not Spence, and also maybe not Moani, but I'm just putting... I guess that... I don't know, I just put that in. It could be, yeah, you could put Spence in there as well. I just feel we're better when Udogie's there, in my opinion. I feel like it's better for the team when you have a Udogie there than Spence. That's the feeling I get. I think when he drives... I feel like, for me, when Spence drives down the line... He either runs into traffic or he runs down the line and has to then cut in onto his right foot. I feel like when Udogie does it, he does it with a bit of purpose, you know. He gets to the byline, he cuts it back, he's better at linking. And I think that's just... It's not a criticism of Spence because of him as a player, it's just because he's on the left as a right footer, I feel it holds him back a bit.
Do you not think we are a bit more defensively sound, though?
I don't think it's that much difference, to be honest. I think he is defensively sound, but I think Udogie is as well. Like, I don't think Udogie's a liability.
I think when we're playing teams that have a very strong right wing, really good one-on-one dribbler, I think it's better to play Spence there because I feel like Udogie, he has shown signs of not being the greatest one-on-one defender.
I think he's also shown the opposite. Like he's also, when he first, remember when he first came into the team, everyone's waxing lyrical about how he's locking up defenders. And I think he did go through some spells when he was struggling with injuries and stuff. Like he was struggling, but look how good he was back end of last season. Yeah. He was brilliant.
Yeah, he was brilliant.
And I think my only point is when they're both at their best, I think Spence is a better defender, don't get me wrong, but I don't think there's much in it. But I do think there's a lot in it when it comes to going forward on the left-hand side, that is.
Yeah, there's a case to say that.
So I think for me, Udogie's in our best 11, but I think having Simmons there, what I love about Simmons is I think he's probably going to be better, obviously coming off that left a bit, but I think his ability to drift, which is going to be afforded to him by Frank, is going to be very crucial. You see Simmons a lot for Leipzig in these kind of positions. He's very good at driving in the space. I think Moani is going to be very good at running in behind, and he's quite good in the box as well. What I think as well is this role here. I would like to see this kind of team. If you put kind of Moani off the left, and you have, I don't know, let's get Rishi in there. Oh. I wouldn't be surprised if you see this quite often. You get Moani there off the left. Yeah, you get him playing kind of that Johnson role. You have Rishi there doing his number 9 thing, and you have Simmons linking up as well. I wouldn't be surprised if this front four could be seen quite a lot.
So, yeah, Simmons in behind, Richarlison, Moani on the left, and Kudus on the right. I mean, I would like to see that, to be fair. I would like to see that because Moani is a good one-on-one dribbler. You've got Kudus, who's a good one. You've got Simmons as well. And all of them just funneling to create those chances for Richarlison. And also, Moani could drift in there at the back post and become a danger in the box as well.
But also, I wouldn't be surprised if you see this. Simmons out there as well. You get, maybe you get Kudus here. and Johnson off the right potentially. That's also a potential you could see. If I don't know, I think it may be against. I don't know when you would see it. Maybe against lower blocks, but I think that's also a potential. You could see if it's. I think because they're all so versatile, you could change them all up quite a lot. So I think that's also a front three. I think I quite like the look of that. And obviously, I don't know how. Let's say we got Bergvall in there. All of a sudden, that's quite a lot of technical ability.
So against who do you think we could play that kind of setup against?
Team sitting a bit deeper potentially.
So like a Bournemouth on the weekend. Do you reckon that's what we should have gone for? Obviously, Simmons wasn't here.
Yeah, but maybe you're not having those same problems in build-up if you're playing something like that. Because on the right you've got Porro who can build up, and off the left you've got Simmons you can play the ball down to, and you've got Kudus through the centre. So all of a sudden you've got all these options. Whereas before, I felt like when you had Johnson off the left, Kudus on the right, obviously we didn't have Simmons there, we had Sarr, but it felt like when we played against Bournemouth, let's say if you play Sarr here with where Simmons was, where is he? Anyways, here he is. So you place that. This is what it was like against Bournemouth. Basically, you just shut down that right-hand side, and there's nothing much else happening here, really, when it comes to playing through them. Whereas if you add Simmons and you add Simmons into that, and maybe you move him to the left, all of a sudden, all throughout the whole picture there's options to build through, play through them, and I think it's a lot better.
Yeah,
like
I mean,
that.
Do you still? I guess we won't. I was going to ask you. Do you still think like against like a Man City, we'll still see Sarr in the number 10?
I think it's potential. I think I wouldn't be surprised if it works so well. Like for specific games, he might come up with those kind of plans. I don't know about like City at home when we obviously
Like
expected.
Liverpool at Anfield.
Yeah,
for
maybe
example.
Liverpool at Anfield. We do that. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
And like Javi Simmons on the left.
Yeah, put him on the left. You still start him.
So Anfield, you could put Sarr in the 10, Simmons on the left, Kudus on the right, and a Mawani or a Richarlison up top.
And then even, when you go three at the back, you put Danso in there. What I really like about having Mawani is you put Danso in there. You have this three at the back. Let's say you take Johnson out. You have these, like a 3-5-2 we like to play, don't we?
Mm-hmm.
So you could do like with Simmons in the middle, like that, Richarlison. I guess you might, maybe you play, what I would like to see is something like this, if when Solanke's fit. Solanke and
Mawani.
I would really like to see that, because I think those two up in a front two would complement each other so well. And you have Simmons kind of in behind. The only problem is it means you're dropping Kudus, but that something like this would be a real interesting formation to play with, I think.
What about the 3-4-3? I would like to see a 3-4-3 with Mawani up top and Simmons and Kudus just slightly in behind.
That would be a very good transitional team.
Yeah.
Like this. And you probably have Bentancur there next to Paulinho, like two workhorses.
Yeah.
And look at that. That is, you think about, you go away to a tough team, and you have this kind of formation, tough to break down, but then on the transition, you got beasts.
So you've got like Simmons in the pocket there, really creative.
Like the Eze role.
Exactly. We don't like to drift out to it's a Simmons role.
It's a Simmons role.
Drift out to the left. And he can work in the central areas, can work in the left areas, I think that would be really good. And I think I'd actually prefer to see that than the two up top like we saw against PSG.
Yeah, I think it can work. If you play like Liverpool, who sometimes do like to leave 2-on-2 at the back, I think you might want to play Mawani and next to a Solanke or something, because I think that is something I might struggle to deal with. But I think in other games, this 3-4-3, I think the Simmons and Moani, it gives you so many different tactical options, like so many different ones. So, yeah, I think it's going to be so interesting to see what kind of tactics Frank deploys.
In terms of massive games, like let's say we're playing in a cup final, I think I'd go with this. I think this looks like unbelievable one for me.
The only problem is
every aspect of the pitch is covered.
The only problem is in these games, are you going to get outnumbered in the middle? Potentially, but they work so hard, and then if you got one of Romero or Danso jumping, then you might be all right. And you get the width with Porro and the doggy. You get Kudus and Simmons there helping out wide. That 3-4-3 looks tasty.
It really does. And if needs be as well, if we're chasing a game with this formation, you can bring on a Bergvall in the middle to give us a bit more attacking impetus in the middle of the park.
Mm-hmm. I think there's so many options there.
The thing is, what the beauty of Frank and the beauty of our squad now with some versatile players, I think you can deploy different tactical setups, different formations, and I think it suits a lot of our players.
Yeah, I agree. I think, it's great.
And to be fair, someone just mentioned in the comments, what about Sarr instead of Palhinha in this formation, instead of Bentancur?
Sarr instead of Bentancur.
Yeah,
it could do that as well. Also, and he's got that running ability.
Exactly. It gives us more of a box-to-box threat from the midfield.
Yeah, it's big. I mean, I like a lot of these different ways. I also like the fact you can put Simmons in the 10. You can kind of go 2 up front. I like that as well. I do think, obviously, predominantly it's going to be... Obviously, when Decky comes back as well, you could play Simmons off the left, Moani up front, Decky in the 10. Like that, Kudus on the right. Look at that front line. Oof, that looks unbelievable.
That is sexy, man. Kudus sexy right in the middle there.
That is incredible. When he comes back, that looks really, really tasty. So it just offers you so much.
So I think, the more and more I look at these different tactical setups, the more and more I'm getting excited. I bloody hate international break, man. I just want to get Tottenham playing again, see what formation Frank's going to go with away at West Ham. Again, away at West Ham, you do fully expect us still go 4-2-3-1. Probably something similar to this. Obviously, no Kulusevski. But, there's a big chance of Udogie coming straight back in. But we'll see what happens. Obviously, did Udogie get called up to Italy?
Don't
must
know.
have done.
Don't know. Well, we just came back from injury, so might not have done.
Yeah, maybe not. So it'll be good if he can get 2 weeks on the training ground with Frank now, and see what happens there. But look, I think you can see that, with the various different formations that we can deploy, there are a few really mouth-watering ones.
I think Simmons and Moani has opened up so many possibilities for this team.
Absolutely. So those are the kind of different ways that we can see Spurs setting up this season. So that's the tactical situations for Tottenham Hotspur.